That's amazing. It's amazing.
Times were different. It was a different game.
A different game still. 50 points, 25 rebounds. 50 points, 25 rebounds. It's a credit to what a physical specimen he was and how talented he was.
Taken by Wilt. He is awesome. Great play for the big man.
I cannot begin to describe to you as an opponent how good he was. But I had to show up. And so my game plan was to get him in a rhythm that he's comfortable with. Now, that may require he gets 45 points. But if we play it right, he get 45, we win the game.
My approach to the Bill Russell situation was a little different than his was than mine, is that I always looked at the fact that we were going against the best team in the world. And going to the Boston Gardens was like the amphitheaters of the Romans, where the Christians are thrown to the lions. We had to continually try to drive ourselves to be just out there with them without being embarrassed.
Bill Russell jumping.
Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. This is part 3 of Bill Russell is not a top 10 player. That's right, folks. If you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, you might as well not even watch this, because you won't understand it. You can watch it, but you won't even understand it. I mean, it's self-explanatory, but this won't explain why Bill Russell's not a top 10 player. We're just going down the episodes or the parts that prove Bill Russell isn't top 10. And, we can go ahead, before we get into this, we won't say too much because I don't want to make this video long. It is what it is. We don't want ad nauseum about Bill Russell's not a top 10 player, stuff that you never heard in your life and you won't hear it. Because for some reason, they're trying to protect Bill Russell and try to hype his career. Now, Bill Russell, his career is what it is. I don't think he's, I'm not dissing Bill Russell or the Celtics. Like I said in part 1, part 2, the Celtics dynasty is the greatest dynasty, the greatest team of all time. And whatever team you think is the greatest dynasty or the greatest team of all time, that Boston Celtics team doubles that. And we already provided the information on part 1 and part 2. So I'm not trying to diss Bill Russell or the Boston Celtics. All we've been proving is heavily, with all the evidence, that Bill Russell was just a part of those championships. He didn't stick out. He didn't lead nobody. He might have had a leader's mentality, but again, you can't lead a stacked team. It's basically like saying that, you got an all-star team, East or West in the NBA, and you say, well, this is the captain. Is it really a leader? I mean, I guess you could say Bill Russell was a captain, but they try to give him this leadership. And when I say all-star, that's how loaded his teams were, folks. We've never seen nothing like it. Whatever help you think Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant had, Shaq, LeBron James, Magic, whoever, Bill Russell had double to triple that help. Not only that, as we're going to see right here, Bill Russell was nothing but a one-way player. You have guys on his team that were either all-around players or two-way players. And at least 4 of them was. No. Well, I could just say 4 of them. And Bill Russell was nothing. He only had the skills of a Dennis Rodman. Put it that way. That was Bill Russell's skills. Which I'm not trying to say they're bad. Something's wrong with them. But in part 2, we debunked, I think, all of his MVPs in 1961, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They were laughable. And I'm not going to go over that again. If you want to go see the video, that's fine. And that also shows how much help he was playing with. And when we debunked his MVPs, because it's, shows the top 10, his teammates that were in the top 10 MVP voting, and who he played with as far as All-NBA and All-Star on his team while winning those MVPs, folks. It's staggering. And like I said, I'm not putting out these videos to diss Bill Russell or the Celtics. Look, I had Bill Russell on my top 4, and people started pissing on Wilt and kept pissing on Wilt, and I was like, no, this got to stop. And then I said, well, let me go really into Bill Russell's career, and I went into his career, and it's mind-blowing. And to me, it's strange that he's even a top 25 player. Because you take away the MVPs and then look at him as a player, what do you got, folks? 4 rebound titles? That's it. Okay, I know you would have defensive teams and stuff like that was around, but guess what? Those guys he was going against will be on there too. The Oscar Robinsons, the Elgin Baylors, the Jerry West, they were defensive players too. The Wilt Chamberlains. So they were doing everything they could and still getting their ass kicked up and down the court because the Boston Celtics were loaded. It wasn't like Jordan, oh yeah, look, he won after the 7th year and then a three-peat. No, folks. If you beat Boston that year, luckily, you was going to get your ass kicked the next year. Look what happened to Bob Pettit. Look at what happened to Wilt Chamberlain. They said the same thing about Wilt Chamberlain that they said about Michael Jordan. You don't remember? Oh, he's selfish. He don't want to pass the ball, blah, blah, blah. Who did they have to pass to? Nobody. So, again, Michael Jordan eventually won after the 7th year. And I think that's the same year Wilt Chamberlain got over the hump too. So Michael Jordan didn't go on to play against a team that had 3 top 75 members, 3 or 4, and 2 other Hall of Fame consistently after he won his first championship. Michael Jordan didn't do that. Not even close, folks. That's what Wilt Chamberlain had to keep doing. So it was like, thank you for the lucky win. Next year, they're back. 3 top 75 and 3 to 4 Hall of Famers on the same team. They're back, and you don't have nothing, really. What, two Hall of Fame teammates that never make All NBA? Well, I guess you say Al Greer, but 1 top 75 and maybe a Hall of Fame teammate against that, folks. So this is what Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, Bob Pettit, all these fools was up against. Wilt Chamberlain. Jerry West won an MVP against Boston and still got his ass kicked. A finals MVP. Elgin Baylor and Jerry West was on the same team, folks, and still got their ass kicked. What? Oh, boy. Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, and Wilt Chamberlain was on the same team, still got their ass kicked. And you can say whatever you want. They melted down that year. But what's the excuse for 68, 67, all those years? You could have those 2 great players on one team, Elgin Baylor and Jerry West. That's 2. And you could have another guy that's great. The Boston Celtics came 8 deep, my boy. You guys are looking at things wrong. For example, for comparison, for context, we know how good the 96 Bulls were, or the 16 or 17 Warriors. Well, guess what? That's how good Boston was every year. And don't tell me, oh, they went to Game 7s. They went to Game 7s 99% of the time at home. You wasn't going to win in Boston. That's how good they was. They was going to pull out those Game 7s. I don't want to hear that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch video 1 and video 2. And like I told people, these videos, I'm not putting them out because I think they're going to get all these views. I'm putting them out so they'll just be there on YouTube. Just to show people that Wilt, so they stop pissing in Wilt Chamberlain's face. Acting like Wilt Chamberlain had a chance against them. The Bulls had the Sonics down 3-0. That's how good the 96 Bulls were. The Sonics were all-time great, folks. The Jazz, 97, 98, destroyed the Spurs with David Robinson, Duncan. Then 2 years in a row, we know about Shaq and Kobe and Eddie Jones and all them fools on that same team. 2 years in a row. The Rockets with Barkley and Elijah One and Drexler, 2 years in a row. And the Bulls beat them 2 years in a row, 4-2. They beat the Jazz. That's how good the Bulls were, folks. I'm trying to let you know how good Boston was in that era. I'm not saying, if the Bulls went back in with that team, no, you can't do that, fool. I'm saying if you put Michael Jordan in the place of Wilt, Michael Jordan on those teams on Philadelphia, he getting his ass kicked every year. I don't care who it is, your greatest superstar, put him back in the 60s on those teams that Wilt was on, that Oscar Robertson was on, that was, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Bob Pettit, and put your favorite superstar on those guys' teams and play the Boston Celtics, and they're going to get their ass kicked up and down the court. That's how good the Celtics were. You guys ain't understanding. Well, some people ain't. So this so-called domination of, Wilt choking against, Bill Russell, and Bill Russell, because when you look this up, their head-to-head record in the regular season, the playoffs, the finals, they always say, oh yeah, Wilt put up all these great numbers, but Russell had a better winning record. So let me make sure I'm starting off right. Okay, so in the regular season, Wilt Chamberlain averaged more points per game than Bill Russell. However, Russell had the superior head-to-head regular season record with his team. Remember that, not him. His team winning 57 games to Chamberlain's 37 games. Here, well, they're talking about the statistical comparison. So points per game in the regular season, head-to-head, Russell and Wilt. Wilt averaged 30 points per game, and Russell averaged 14. Rebounds, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 28. Bill Russell averaged 23. Beat him in his own game. Assists, Wilt Chamberlain 3.8. Bill Russell 4.4. Let's remember, from 60 to 65, Wilt Chamberlain played with no All-NBA teammate. In those years, Bill Russell played with 10. And on Bill Russell's, on the Celtics team, was 14 in those years. From 60 all the way to, I think, 65. And it was only 6 on Wilt's team, and it was only him. So think about that when you say that, he beat, when we combine that with their averages head to head. Because some people go, oh, well, he was just, scoring. And no, he beat Russell at his own game. What do you want? Rebounding? That's all Russell could do. And he shot way better than Russell. Russell was shooting like in the, I don't know, the 20s or not the 20s, but the 40s or something like that. Oh man, I done messed up. I don't know why that wasn't on here. It should have been on here. No, they don't have the percentage on the regular season, but it's probably going to be what we're going to see next. So in the playoffs, Chamberlain held the statistical edge in points, rebounds per game, while Russell had a superior record. That's it. 29 wins, Bill Russell to Wilt Chamberlain's 20. So Wilt averaged 25.7 points per game. Russell, in these playoff matches, averaged 14.9 rebounds. Wilt Chamberlain 28, Russell 24.7 assists per game. Wilt Chamberlain 4.1, Russell 4.9. Field goal percentage. Y'all ready? Wilt Chamberlain 52.2. Russell 43.1. That's for a center, folks. You get that guy the ball, he's going to be a brick fest. Keep the ball away from this guy. And he was only averaging, maybe 10 shots a game in the paint, and he's breaking it up. So Wilt is beating him at his own game. He's got loaded teams. Let's move on. We keep repeating the same thing. Wilt Chamberlain had the better, this is the NBA Finals. Wilt Chamberlain had the better individual statistics with averaging 19 points per game. Remember, why is it 19? Because Wilt brought his scoring down to play like Bill Russell, because that was the criticism. He did that and still got his ass whooped. That's what's so crazy. But he still kept his rebounds up and still kept his defense up. And put his assists astronomical for a center. Whatever. So he averaged 19 points and 26 rebounds in his NBA Finals matchup against Bill Russell, while Bill Russell averaged 10 points and 22.8 points per game. So he averaged more points, more rebounds, in the field goal percentage for Wilt Chamberlain, 51.1. Like I said, he brought his points down. It wasn't a brick fest. He should have been a brick fest shooting 22 shots a game. But it was great. His field goal percentage was, especially for that era, he couldn't miss. Y'all get ready. For Bill Russell in the finals against Wilt Chamberlain, 39.3%. I'm done. And this is really how Bill Russell, was shooting in the NBA Finals, folks. Not just against, not just against Wilt Chamberlain, but period. This is how awful he shot. Let me make sure real quick. I'm sorry. Oh, y'all tripping. So, of course, they're not going to give me his field goal percentage. Damn, he shot 31%. That's crazy. Let me see if I can find this. So he averaged, overall, in 70 games, 16 points and 24 rebounds. Let me see if I can find this real quick. It should punch up real quick. Okay, it ain't that bad. 45%. It is better than I thought, because I've seen some of it on here. That guy had, in one of them, Bill Russell shot for a series. His first finals, 35%. Second finals, 34%. Third finals, 31%. And I think what is this? That would be 10. No, he didn't go to 13 finals? No, he led 12 finals. So I think this is 11 finals. He shot 38%. Surprising, all this came up to 45%, because look, in his last finals, he shot 70%. But guess what? He only attempted 9 shots. That's why his field goal percentage shot all the way up to 45% for his finals career. And then one NBA finals, imagine this, he shot 54%, but he only attempted 8 shots. His third finals, no, my fault. This is made. The one where he shot 35%, his first one, he attempted 14. 34%, his second one, he attempted 12. Check this out. His third finals, he attempted 9 and shot 31%, guys. I'm done. And it's just the same old, like every single finals. It's a brick fest. He's got one on here where he attempted 11 and only hit 4 for 38%. This is laughable, folks. You can't win this many championships being a defender and a rebounder. It don't work like that, folks. If that was the case, even when Wilt changed his game, he would have won more championships. That team was loaded to the gills and back. He ain't even. I'm trying to tell you guys. Go watch. Go watch video 1 and 2 if you don't believe me. So yeah, this is going to be the end of this right here. Now, I'm not trying to be offensive, but it says, come take a ride with the one and only Bill Russell. I don't think he was a bus rider at all. I think he was who he was, a great player. But nobody ever put his career in perspective. He got lucky. He was there for all the championships because, yes, he played 13 years, but he came at a time when a lot of guys that he won, 6-7 championships with, they was already in the league. The great guys. So by the time they got out of their prime and ready to retire, that team had already read up through the draft or free agency with all these other great players. And a lot of those other great players, when Bill Russell retired, they ended up playing in the 70s. Okay, so Bill Russell came at the right time. Okay. As a center shot an unheard of 44% from the field. What? Bill Russell played with 12 Hall of Fame teammates. Staggering. And I think they're trying to say he played with 7 top 75. I didn't see it. I seen about 5 or 6. Only played one Hall of Famer. Only played one Hall of Fame center in the NBA Finals. Was not even a second scoring option on his team. And we're just saying the second. Folks, he wasn't even the third and fourth at times. Only made all NBA first team 3 times. What? It's only supposed to be him and Wilt Chamberlain as the greatest two centers of that era. If Wilt never gets hurt, it was other centers making All-NBA first team when he was, before Wilt even came in the league, over Bill Russell. And then Bill Russell got in, I think like at 58 or I think 59. And then Wilt Chamberlain came over and take over the first team. Give me that. Was not rookie of the year. His teammate was rookie of the year that turned into a Hall of Famer. Before 1967, we already went over this in a video. This is incredible. If any team did this, they would be disqualified from something. I'm not disqualifying them. They were who they were, like I said. They didn't cheat. But before 1967, the entire playoff format was only 3 rounds, right, on each side. In 9 straight championships, Russell had a first round bye and only had to play 1 round best of 3 before going to the finals. So he, every year from, I think it was like 57 all the way until 67, he got a first round bye, which means he only had a, next he played in the second round, 1 series, and then went to the finals. So the pace of play, by the time you played that team in the second round, they were tired as hell. So he just, and then with his older team, beat the hell out of them and went to the, then went to the NBA Finals. That was Bill Russell in the Celtics. Part 3 is over, folks. I'll see you in 4, and we're going to prove some more. It's not that video, but we're going to prove more that Bill Russell ain't even in Wilt Chamberlain's universe. And he didn't deserve those 4 MVPs.